back, baby. How is this fighting fascism?
I can't believe this. Like, I thought that, like, some liberals had a brain attached to their head, but I now know that there's no way that they have a brain in their head.
What is going on, everyone? James Klug here. Today, I am joined by my friend Priya Patel, and we are in Huntington Beach. We're going to be asking people how they think the Trump administration is doing so far, and we're also going to be going to an anti-Trump protest here soon. Priya, are you ready to get going?
Let's rock and roll.
Let's go talk to some people. Today, we're talking to people, seeing what they think about the Trump administration so far.
I think he's much better than what we had before.
Okay, thumbs up. I wasn't expecting that.
Good.
Yes, sir. What do we think? Thumbs down? Okay.
I'm not on the same page.
You're not on the same page?
I think it's causing a lot of divisiveness.
A lot of divisiveness, yeah. So what are you seeing? What are you seeing that's divisive? What are you not happy with? Are there any things that you are happy with?
From the Trump policy? Not that I know of.
It's who he is as a person. It has nothing to do with his policies.
Okay.
Really. He's just a horrible person. So, and I think our kids should have someone to look up to, as opposed to just an asshole for a president. He's not doing that bad as a president.
What are you not happy with?
I think that he doesn't pay a lot of attention to international events like he should.
People have been talking about them putting an end to several wars so far in a matter of 7 months. You have Azerbaijan, you have Congo, you have a handful of wars and ceasefires that the United States has, directly been involved in. Do you think that was good, or are you mainly just looking at maybe Ukraine and Gaza? But as for divisive, I guess we could talk about specifically, what are you talking about?
Well, I think he's causing a lot of people to hate him, and he's causing a lot of people to defend him. He's not bringing people together. I don't see him bringing people together. He doesn't speak to the left and say, no, let's work together. I don't see that.
Do you mind if I see your sign, sir?
No, you may not.
We're working on a video.
I know, and you're not welcome.
What do you mean I'm not welcome?
You're not welcome to talk to me.
Okay.
Get away from me.
Oh, wait.
Now?
Hey, sir.
Now?
Sir. We're He's allowed to look at your board.
There you go.
You're out here in public property, right? All right. We got some noise here. Do you mind if I see your sign? Okay, we got when cruelty becomes normal, compassion looks radical. Okay. What is the sign referring to? Oh, it's really loud. Sometimes, some days, it's a little bit more challenging to have some conversations, but we're gonna attempt to at least have a couple. Ma'am, what brought you out here today?
Sure, so what policies are you against from the Trump administration?
I'm not against any policies from the Trump administration.
Oh, so you're just talking about like literal rhetoric is what you're talking about.
Yeah. I think most politics comes down to the effect it has on the day-to-day for everybody.
For sure.
And so we blow up a lot of the policies because of the narratives that people hear on the headlines and whatnot.
He's not a good person. When you go to the beauty pageant and you walk in on 14-year-olds, that's not a good person.
I don't quite recall that happening, but
Yeah, there's a whole story about it. So, yeah.
Can we, you're talking about Teen USA, can we fact check that right now?
Do it. Be my guest. Fact check it. He walked in the dressing room while they were getting ready.
Right.
Yeah. And he owns the tournament, so he feels like he can do whatever he wants.
Okay.
That's
So
part
we're gonna
part of the problem.
What do you think? Maybe pull up Snopes or something? For a big fact check?
Anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what should we type in? Did Donald Trump walk into Miss Teen USA changing room?
Yes.
Walk into Miss Teen USA changing room.
I don't think that one actually matters that much.
Well, that was the one you brought up for him being a bad person.
Well, yes.
You guys, today this might be a challenging video to get. Good to see you again.
Likewise.
How you doing?
Sorry. No, I saw your post online. Not interested. Please keep moving.
We posted the whole conversation.
That's cool. Good. Not interested in talking.
How you doing? Oh, it's this guy again. How you doing?
Clowns are scary.
What was that?
Clowns are scary.
I can't hear you.
Clowns are scary.
You're saying something.
Clowns are scary. Clowns are scary.
Miss, did we speak to you last time? baby. Let's cruise over here. Oh, you can't hit me with your stuff. How you guys doing? How you doing, sir?
Get the out of here.
No, you! All right, you guys, let me ask you something. How much time do you spend every single day on a web browser? Clicking around, searching, scrolling, typing, endless tabs. It's kind of a lot, right? Well, there's a new web browser called Comet that's finally doing something new, and they're sponsoring today's video. Think of Comet as an AI-powered web browser with a built-in personal assistant that can actually do things for you across the internet. Instead of doing things yourself, just ask Comet to do it, and it literally clicks, searches, types, and scrolls just like you would, except for you don't need to do that anymore. Comet can shop for you, make reservations, book travel, summarize articles or videos, send emails, schedule meetings, and a lot more to make your life easier. Let me show you how it works. Let's book a flight to Portland to have more conversations with people outside the ICE detention facility. Normally, that's a bunch of searches and spending a bunch of time trying to find the best price. With Comet, hey Comet.
Hey there, what can I help you with today?
Book me a direct flight from SNA to Portland next Thursday that leaves in the second half of the day. Keep it under $300 and make sure I get an aisle seat.
I found direct flights from Orange County, SNA to Portland, PDX for as low as $86. You can check out the options here.
Done. It's that easy. Pretty cool, right? Go and take back your time, download Comet, and let your web browser work for you, not the other way around. Thank you to Comet for sponsoring this video. Let's get back into it. Wait, really quick. I pulled up the fact check, just really quick. So we got a Trump quote on being backstage at pageants. It didn't reference Miss Teen USA. He owns Miss USA as well.
Yeah, he did.
While Mr. Trump did say he went backstage at pageants and saw women with no clothes on, he did not specifically mention the Miss Teen USA pageant or speak about seeing girls dressing. So where did you get that information from? The teenagers? Did you?
It was the
was that
teenagers
just?
who talked about it.
It was the teenagers that talked about it?
Yeah, that brought this up, yeah.
Oh, I thought we said he said it.
No.
Okay.
No. If I implied he said it, that's not what I meant.
It's okay.
I was just saying that was out there at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that would probably
Yeah.
take even longer to check out. Okay, so yeah, maybe just, you're going off that. Do we have evidence to support that claim, or is it just somebody said something and that was enough, you're saying?
I thought we're supposed to believe all women if they make a claim. Or at least...
I don't recommend doing that. Priya, how's it going so far?
I think my eardrums are going to give out at some point in time.
Yeah, they know it's annoying. That's why they do it. They don't want to have conversations this time. It changed. It changed.
They were ready for you.
Maybe.
I think what ICE is doing is pretty controversial.
Controversial?
Yeah.
Well, arresting people, like, it's not the prettiest thing. What do you think is controversial about what they're doing?
Do you think that there are any ICE officers that are acting out of racial prejudice by any chance?
Any? Out of every single one?
Yeah.
Statistically, there has to be somebody, right? You can say the same thing about police officers.
Sure.
You can say the same thing about nurses, doctors. Do you mind if I ask you, when it came to ICE, I don't want to move away from that just yet. That's an interesting point you're bringing up. Why were you saying that? You think it's controversial what they're doing because what?
Well, I
You
personally
didn't answer
think,
that question.
I personally think all immigrants should be able to stay.
Whether they came into the country legally or not.
Yeah, I think most of those laws are probably created out of fear and not actually aiming at unity and progressing the country.
So why exactly would you say that they're fear-based, though?
Well, if we're just trying to keep anything out of what we protect, is assuming it's a threat to something.
Not necessarily. I mean, a nation without borders is not really a nation at all.
So that would be a threat to your national status.
Well, it would be a threat to national security if we just allow
So you're
anything and
agreeing with me.
everybody to come into the country, but that doesn't mean that we don't allow immigration into the country. We allow
Right.
plenty of immigration.
But the idea of a threat at all is fear.
Well, hold on. You have some of the most dangerous cartels down at the southern border.
Fear.
I guess we could lean into that one, right?
We have-
Because there's affordability, there's program, like you only have so many resources, right? So if you're saying, hey, no borders at all, the entire world can come over here and take advantage of social welfare programs that taxpayers pay into, that's not going to last very long. But as for the fear aspect, very interesting point. You have some of the most dangerous people in the world, cartels down at our southern border in Mexico. A lot of people in Central America fear these people. You have Tren de Aragua, MS-13, just horrifying realities down there. And you're saying no border enforcement when you have essentially terrorist organizations running the southern borders and down at the southern border? Do you think that's a smart idea for the American people?
I didn't say no border enforcement.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding your argument then.
Sure. There's a difference between no border enforcement and let immigrants stay.
What should the consequence for coming illegally be?
Same thing we do with anyone in our country that's illegal. So arresting is fine, but we also have the deportation is a huge problem. The method of deportation and the method of imprisonment is a huge problem.
Wait, hold on. Let me back up really quick.
Sure.
You have no problem with people that are in the country illegally being removed?
No. I don't think we should be removing people.
You know, a lot of people bring this stuff up, and I think it's really interesting because a lot of people focus on the enforcement, right? I think reasonably so. The media, we have a biased media, they fixate on it. But also, oh my gosh, arrests are ramping up, and arrests are spooky, right? Like, you watch anybody getting arrested, everyone's looking at it like, holy crap, that's kind of crazy.
Never
but
a pretty
we're talking
thing.
about sympathetic. I mean, what about, over the last 4 years, millions of people coming in, unvetted mass migration, getting Americans raped and murdered? Rachel Morin, Jocelyn Nungari.
I'm not
3
going to
weeks.
say that hasn't happened, but immigrants are on a whole less likely statistically to commit crimes because...
Do you think if I brought up to Jocelyn Nungari, right? Tren de Aragua gang members aren't supposed to be in the country in the first place. They came in, were released by Border Patrol. 3 weeks later, raped and murdered Jocelyn Nungari. Do you think if I told her parents, statistically, they're less likely to do that? Do you think that they would be like, hey, that's really cool, I love math? Or do you think they would say, they weren't supposed to be here in the first place, and it's the government's job to protect my daughter? What do you think?
You wouldn't be asking her parents to make policy because they're not. They're not.
But
Honest question. I know it's a brutal question, but it's also a brutal topic.
I mean, it's the same thing as like.
Do you see what I'm
in a
saying?
Debate to John Kerry. What if your wife was raped and murdered? Wouldn't you want capital punishment? That's why we don't have vendettas.
I'm so sorry. My point of bringing that up is the government didn't do their job. And those people aren't supposed to be in the country in the first place. If the government did its job, which, by the way, is their primary job, is protecting the American people. That's their main job. If they did their job, she would still be here today. Look, I'll tolerate the noise. And for everybody at home, it is super loud. It's in my ear. But they're also doing it too. What was that?
Go Trump! Go Trump!
Go Trump, what about you? Watch out for cars, you guys. Watch out for cars. You got it.
Isn't always a good thing. Gives people too much free time to do dumb things.
Hey, I think it was Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro said retirement isn't necessarily a good thing. He got backlash. Not true. He's correct, you guys. Ben Shapiro is right. Oh my God. What does it say? Stand against hate. Who's displaying hateful behavior right now, sir? Okay. All right, guys. Huntington Beach. No conversations this time.
So I just don't think he's a good person.
You made that very clear.
Yeah.
That's fair, and we're going to respect your opinion there, and that's okay.
We can argue about policy, but I don't think he's a good person.
So for my standard, I just require basically just some decent evidence of a horrific thing, right? Because at that point, what you're saying is, hey, we're going to reward people if they just continuously make stuff up, right? They say about Hegseth, they say it about Supreme Court justices and multiple, slandering somebody and bringing up sex accusations or whatever has been going on in politics since forever. Is there evidence? I will absolutely listen to it. I will look at it and I'll pull it up. Your other stuff that you brought up, I will pull up on the video. People can see for themselves, right? If they're not convinced, then that's... I can't do anything about that. You know what I mean?
All right. Good luck, guys.
Our home is not a war zone. You mind telling us what brought you out here today? Sir? You guys, this is how they're reacting to respectful conversations, back and forth, right? This is how they're responding to adults having a political discussion.
I see no adults around you. So.
What do you guys think about this behavior?
This is all liberals do. All they can do is they can have you not be able to talk because they can't argue.
This guy right here, he was kind of acting as muscle last time. This time, he's basically just putting a loud siren in our ear and at the mic during the entire time we're here. I want to know if he's being paid, if he's a part of Indivisible, 5051 or whatever. We'll find out. Your machine's not working, huh? Your siren? Seems like it's broken. All right, that's embarrassing. Keep going.
I don't have the solution for this, but I know that this
Enforcement of the current laws, maybe?
Well, enforcement of the current laws, but they threw a random teacher in who is a citizen in isolation for 3 days up near Oxnard, and then they said that he threw something at the ICE agents, in which they looked at the video and he didn't. The ICE agents lied.
Should we look up
and
this case?
Happened. Yep. You can, yeah. It was the case up in where the guy died. They chased that 58-year-old guy, providing for 30 years for his wife and kid. He ran up the.
Are you talking about the farm?
Yeah. He died. He fell through that and then died. And they arrested a bunch of people who they lied about what they were doing. They said he threw something at them, didn't do it.
Yeah, so what you're talking about right now is
a
marijuana farm where there were 8 or 9 unaccompanied minors there that were working illegally on a marijuana farm. I don't know that we want to leverage that as the best reason for them doing wrong, because child labor, illegal child labor is exactly what ICE is supposed to be cracking down on.
But do you worry about people just being disappeared? Like, I don't know who they are, so let's just stick them somewhere, and nobody will let them know for 3 days. Oh, and by 3 days, we don't know what's happened. I mean, this idea that we're not in a country where people are disappeared. You know what I mean by people? And, you know, it's...
What exactly do you mean by people being disappeared?
You should be able to get a hold of them within 3 days. People can't, even U.S. citizens. They can't.
You want the illegal immigrants?
No, U.S. citizens. Yeah. Check up. There's a professor up at CSU Channel Islands in custody, in isolation for 3 days. U.S. citizen. No contact.
I appreciate you bringing this up. We'll have it pop up on the screen. Good to see you again. But this is kind of like we're getting so into the weeds here, where it's like you could bring that up with law enforcement and you could say at Huntington Beach a police officer did X, Y, Z, and James, this is why it's wrong what they're doing. And you're like, your argument is like it's wrong that they're like cracking down on crime in the city. I'm going to say, well, I disagree with that guy right there, but I don't disagree with the entire mission. Does that make sense?
Right. Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Am I being fair right there?
I just think that there's a more order. This can't be the best we can do. I mean, we're a country of smart people who are empathetic, who are educated, who care about other people, who care about what's going to happen. This can't be our best.
Is it a lot better? Is this not a lot better than the last 4 years, or no?
Well, I mean, if you're looking at the number of deportations, Obama deported more than anyone. I mean, he was the deporter in chief.
Yeah, I can clarify those statistics, actually. Something interesting about that, there's internal removals, which is much more difficult, and that's what you're seeing right now in blue cities. By the way, they're having to track these people down because the local governments aren't working with federal agents, so they're having to go to, Home Depots and all these places. Other places, they can go pick up criminals in jails and whatnot, right? But, internal removals, and then there's returns. So returns are at the southern border. So when it comes to, Biden's going to have a lot of returns because they returned a lot of people, but they also imported millions, right? So returns bumps up those numbers. I know I'm being a little bit autistic about this, but I just want to clarify.
My thing is, I understand that there's different definitions to that. It's just, there's one other thing that strikes me, and this isn't an argument, this is just something to throw out for thought. People in the U.S. make roughly, for those kind of jobs, 5 times in a day what you'll make for a lot of jobs in Mexico. When you nowhere in the world do you have that kind of wealth and that kind of poverty in one border. This is probably the best. I'm not suggesting you should how to do it, but the best thing that causes people to immigrate less from Mexico is when their economy goes up. I mean, we can do this all day long, but if people are making 5 times more, the best thing that's going to happen for them is for their economy to go up. That's the only long-term effective thing.
How you doing today?
Fighting fascism.
You were what?
Fighting fascism.
How is this fighting fascism? What should the consequence of coming here illegally be? Should there be any enforcement to removal?
So just doing it illegally? No. If there's
What should the consequence to coming into our country illegally be?
That's a really great question, and it's got so many factors.
It's a pretty simple question, though. What should it be?
But like running a ticket is illegal, right? And so it's a question of what law is a misdemeanor, which one's a federal offense.
What should the punishment be?
What should the punishment be? You're asking me to judge what our law system has enforced. I don't agree with all of our laws.
Yeah, it's okay. What should the punishment be for entering the country illegally? I'm genuinely asking that question. I'm not trying. There's not a trick question.
Right. My full philosophical answer.
Oh, please, yeah.
I don't believe it should be illegal to enter a country.
Okay, so there's no consequence to entering illegally. Therefore, no reasonable borders.
I think we should incentivize staying in their own country.
Okay, but you're saying no consequences to entering illegally. Therefore, encouraging more because there's no consequence. So if there's no consequence, do it. If there's no consequence to speeding, everyone's going to speed. If there's no consequences to robbing people, people are going to rob.
Yeah. It's assuming,
so if there's no consequence to entering illegally, people are going to enter illegally, right?
Assuming the value gradient. You know a pressure gradient in physics? Do you know what that is?
You can explain it.
So basically, if there's a hot room and a cold room and a hole in between, the hot air will move into the cold air, right? So there's an assumption that something that's worse happening in Mexico than there is in America, and Mexicans are going to come to America, and it's not going to be an even exchange. There's no equilibrium of value, which is true. The American currency, or the American economy, is far stronger than the Mexican. I think the goal should be to make the Mexican economy as strong as the American economy.
Why exactly is it our burden as America, or is the United States? Yeah.
I don't think it's a burden. I think it's a responsibility.
Why is it our responsibility to
build up
better
Mexico for the Mexican people?
Why is it our responsibility as a father or a mother to take care of our child?
Because it is ours.
Okay, yeah. So I think America should be responsible for other nations on its planet.
Well, we don't have quote unquote ownership over the planet.
Right,
though.
and I don't have quote unquote ownership over my daughter.
You do have legal responsibility over your daughter.
Responsibility, sure. That's just not.
Well, we don't have legal responsibility or some sort of equivalent over the entire planet.
We haven't decided that.
Who theoretically would decide that?
Who decides any ownership?
Well, who would decide that, though? That's a good question.
I think the government should decide to be responsible.
The local or the national
federal
government?
government should decide to be responsible
for the entire world.
Kind of does.
For the entire world.
I think every federal government should be responsible for every other government because we see the humanity in others.
Right.
So then,
it's called empathy.
Would you call yourself a globalist? Because that sounds a little bit like a globalist argument.
That's a label that I wouldn't define myself by.
Okay.
It's a very interesting point. Your position is, we have responsibility to essentially be the world's soup kitchen. I'm going to reject that, but respectfully.
The fascists win again. We've been silenced.
Yes.
We've been silenced.
We've been silenced. I got to respect the dedication to, shutting down open debate, conversations, interviews.
I can't believe this. I thought that, some liberals had a brain attached to their head, but I now know that there's no way that they have a brain in their head.
All right, everyone, that is it for today. Let's get our founder tier members' names up on the screen. You guys are the absolute best. Priya, I think that the protest today was a little bit of a disaster. Everything else seemed pretty good. How do you think the day went?
Yeah, my ears are still ringing from that protest, but otherwise some interesting conversation.
Yeah, for sure. And if people want to find you, support your work, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at PRIYAEE.
That's good stuff. Priya, thanks for joining us today. You guys, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that like button, make sure to subscribe for more videos, and hit that bell notification button so you are notified next time I post. And also, last note, huge shout out to our founder tier members. You guys are the absolute best. Look at these patriots. You want to have your name up on the screen as well. Hit that link down in the description below. Thanks for watching, you guys. We'll catch you in the next one. How we doing today, pup? You are super cute. Look at his little paws.